If this application is approved this evening, it would be a death sentence for our environment, our villages and our communities in rural Medway.
The people in this room tonight who have a far better understanding than I do whether you can move a bird from A to B and it will stay there.
And if this was to be agreed, it would set a precedent, I believe, whereby exercise sites in the country would mean nothing. And I've had experience of presentation before when the promises of schools, clubs, hospitals, medical, everything under the sun, and yet nothing materializes. It will be catastrophic for the area. You build 1,000 houses, not for the indigenous population, but for people maybe coming from London who are capitalising on the big prices that they get there, and they're not for local people at all. 1,000 houses, and we've already got too many cows, too many people, and not enough services, and pressure always on the services.
The devastating planning application before us this evening. Allowing development at Lodge Hill would clearly have a huge local impact, but also a large impact at the national level. Not only would it destroy habitat for perhaps the most important site for nightingales in the country, it would set a dangerous precedent for all protected wildlife sites across the country. If this development goes ahead, it will be one of, if not the largest, wholesale destruction of a triple SI, destroying more habitat in one go than the total loss to development of triple SIs in the last 7 years. The application offers no certainty on exactly where the proposed nightingale compensation land would be. Not only is recreating suitable habitat for a nationally important population risky and uncertain, it also has implications for the surrounding designated sites. Lodge Hill is not a predominantly brownfield site, as has been suggested. This has been verified by an independent inspector at the Medway Core Strategy hearings, and in any case, the presumption in favour of development does not stand due to the fact that the area is of high biodiversity value. But I believe the biggest consequence for us all will come as a result of saying yes and approving this bonkers idea. Lodge Hill is the only site of special scientific interest notified specifically for nightingales, and is estimated to hold more than 1% of the national population, particularly important given the fact that nightingale numbers have suffered a huge decline in recent years. The proposed development would destroy the majority of nightingale habitat and constitute one of the largest ever losses of a triple SI to development. And this would be a monstrous act of environmental vandalism. It's quite clear to anyone who has ever visited Lodge Hill that this site is not a brownfield site. From the objections in your report raised by the RSPB, the Kent Wildlife Trust, Budlife, the Kent Bat Group and the Kent Reptile and Amphibian Group. The Natural England are maintaining their objection. Medway Town's Footpath Group, Friends of North Kent Marshes have objected. Sport England are concerned about two aspects. Other objections from Dickens Country Preservation Society, Kent Ornithological Society, the Open Spaces Society, Kent Wildfowlers who all object.
Woodland Trust, Finsbury and Wainscot Association, Medway Local Access Forum also object. Medway Countryside Forum, Bug Life, RSPB, Kent Bat Group and Butterfly Conservation, Kent Reptile and Amphibians Group, Kent Wildlife Trust all object.
Now, I hope that all members will vote freely as their conscience dictates based on the facts before them and the substantial weight of opposition and arguments against this proposal. Quite frankly, this is no time for political games this evening. It is much more important than that. This would set an extremely dangerous precedent which would leave every triple SI vulnerable to development.